Hey everybody, I am currently driving my son home from a doctor's appointment in gridiron traffic. Tuesday, so full 24, 48 hours almost after the episode series finale of Game of Thrones. As you can tell from my last video from us, I can't let little things go that just pick at me, especially when it comes to movies and shows. So I'm here to give my anger-filled rant and disappointment pertaining to the series finale of Game of Thrones. I'm going to try to go in chronological order of how it appeared in the episode while driving, so bear with me. And this may be a little long because there was a lot. But if you're bearing with me, first things first, please share your comments and opinions below, because I might not be right. I may have missed something. I'm hoping I missed something which makes me like it, because right now I thought it was awful. Alright, first thing first. Jon is walking through the burnt up city. He runs into Grey Worm, who has freed soldiers, surrendered soldiers, at their knees, and he's about to kill them. Jon stops them and tells Grey Worm, this isn't what you do, this is wrong, whatever the case may be. So right before they fight or get into it, he's told, let's just go see the queen. They're her orders, let's go directly to her. He walks off to go speak to her. In the background, behind him, is Grey Worm slowly slicing the throats of each soldier. The next scene is him still walking. Now he's walking through the soldiers, all lined up the steps to see the queen. And who is at the top of the steps? Grey Worm. How is this possible? Did he teleport? Is there two Grey Worms? Is one of them the man of many faces? What excuse is this to have such piss poor writing that you literally had Jon leave this guy behind in the middle of town, him continue walking on his path to get to the queen, Dany, and then the guy's in front of him? There is no way in the world. Again, I felt this season was, I felt this season was extremely rushed, okay? This season could have gone for 2 seasons or maybe 3 extra episodes. Regardless, it was like every episode got sloppier and sloppier. You got the Starbucks cup. You got Jaime with the hand. It was like this season, which is crazy because they had more than enough time. It was like they rushed this season and missed the smallest little things that made no sense. And those are stuff that they never missed and made perfect. That's what made the show should go, the level of detail it went to. But anyway, how the hell did he teleport and get there before him? And the best part is the camera gets like this weird close-up of his face to let him know, oh, I'm Grey Worm, I'm pissed off, I'm running this. Yeah, and you just screwed up. That's just stupid. Alright, number 2. Jon kills Dany in this lovely, supposedly Shakespearean, heartfelt moment. Dragon comes in. Ooh. Jon steps back, closes his eye. He knows he's about to literally get that smoke, get burnt to a crisp. And the dragon burns the Iron Throne. Let me start off by saying this may be one of the top 3 worst TV scenes of all time. Let me explain. All the seasons we've seen these dragons, and they're just brutal animals. They eat hordes of cow and stock and people and burn people, and if you get close they eat you and all this crazy stuff. The only person that can control them was Dany, and then Jon. Okay, perfect. How in the world did this dragon all of a sudden become so intelligent and smart and human-like to realize, ooh, my mother died, and she died because she was obsessed with this chair, this throne. This is why she died. So I'm going to take all my anger out by melting this chair. How is that? How does that make sense? How? It's an animal. It's a dragon. It's a fiery monster. It should have ate Jon in half. It should have burnt him alive. Okay, let's go with it's a Targaryen. Blood, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Pick up your mother and fly away. What is the purpose of it burning the chair, the throne? It makes absolutely no sense. You wait till all this time now to give this type of credit to this beast. That is just awful, disgusting. I literally sat up and while as I was watching and said, this isn't going to be good the rest of this show. The rest of this episode is just not going to be good. And I was right. Moving on. Number 3. The next scene after that, we see Tyrion in a little hut, prison, whatever, getting walked out. His clothes are different. Okay. He has a long beard. Okay. He walks out to the council. Now, we all know the people up north, coming down takes a while. So this wasn't the next day. It wasn't the day after. So you're saying, okay, it must have been a while because Tyrion has a long beard. Thanks for throwing that in there, writer and director. Oh, wait. Give it a couple minutes because Tyrion gave us the lovely, it's been several weeks now, line. The laziest piece of writing, the most obvious sign that you didn't have enough time to put everything in. You were rushing it because you couldn't see what was in those weeks. Couldn't show any conversations. You couldn't see anyone traveling. No behind the scenes anything. Just, next scene several weeks later. Trash, lazy, trash. It's embarrassing. Like, I can't believe the show was so good and got so bad so drastically. Okay. Number 4. Jon's punishment. Actually, let's even go back. Tyrion. Let's stay on Tyrion. Okay. So Tyrion admits in his 15-minute long boring diatribe, when he was told several times, you're a prisoner, shut up, and he kept talking, that his whole time trying to be good and trying to help people, he's messed up, done everything wrong, and ruined everything. Okay, thank you, Tyrion. Yet, these people that are so smart, council, take it upon themselves to listen to his bright idea, to not only do something that's never been done before by making one king not part of it, the rulers in 7 kingdoms or whatever, and someone who doesn't have any children and can start fresh. And they listened to it like it was just something like amazing, like it was a soothsayer or something. Like, he just admitted he's been wrong his whole life. He's done nothing right. He's a prisoner, shouldn't even be talking. He's trying to get himself out. But he just convinced you all to change literally everything to something that's never been done before. What? Like, what are we doing? What are you doing? That is awful. And then they pick Bran. Which, I mean, again, let's just say they're dumb enough to listen to the guy who says he's wrong every time. He's batting 0-0-0. Let's just say they say, okay, that's a great idea. Then they go into who we're going to pick. And they pick the guy who is now a robot, basically. And he goes into the eyes of ravens, crows, whatever. It makes no sense. It was like they had a board with darts and we're like, all right, let's see, whoever we throw and hit it to, this is who we're gonna make it be king. Thoop! And it landed on Bran the Broken. I get it, his fall started it all, but really did it? Because I mean, Robert and Ned had a little weird thing going on when Robert went up there to even visit him and all that stuff where it happened. I'm sure something else would have took place. The show wasn't revolved around Bran. For some seasons, he was hardly even shown. From what I hear in the book, which I haven't read, he has a bigger role. But still, it absolutely no sense. The whole 20-minute boring, talk was just All right, let's get this character to explain everything that we wanted to explain to you, but didn't have time to. So we're just gonna have him talk and get this over with. Okay, moving on, because I can just keep going on. Jon's punishment. Why didn't anyone say he was the king? He was the rightful heir. He was the king. So, are we supposed to forget as viewers that the Whisperer, Master, Varys, whatever, all his crows that sent out all his messages all died? People got it and then didn't read it. Got lost in the mail. Or let's just say that was the case. We're at the council. They're all talking about killing your brother. Why didn't Arya, Sansa, or Bran the Broken, who was the one that found out first, explain the truth to them and have him take it over? It makes no sense. Why did we spend 8 seasons building up this character to show that he is the rightful heir, the shock of the century? He is Dany's nephew, aunt, niece, whatever, and he is the rightful heir, and he's the war master, and he's been brought back to life. He's the special war. He's all this, and then time comes to let the world know and him take the crown. Let's send him off to the wall. Absolutely pathetic writing. And this is the craziest part. The wall's not needed anymore. Do you know why? Because that major character you developed got everyone to get on the same team to fight the biggest, baddest army that was going to kill the planet, the White Walkers. And he executed it. This is the guy you're sentencing life in prison at the wall for. A wall that's no longer needed because he killed the threat. How stupid is this? It makes no sense. You wasted every scene of this character for 8 seasons. You've wasted the whole ups and downs and making us fall in love, and he's the best character, and he can fight, and he comes back to life, and he's all this, and he's the best king. They even had a scene when Tyrion was locked up earlier, and Jon was going there to talk to him, and he convinced him to kill Dany, and he said, I don't want the crown. He said, doesn't matter what you want. You don't get to choose. You got to take it. That's why he killed her. Like, this all leads to this lined up right in front of you, and then they throw this stupid half-ass twist that makes no sense. You're sentencing the real king to go live in a hut with prisoners to protect nothing. Like, that is the biggest waste of a character in TV history. Any show ever. I don't care who it is. Awful. This is where it gets stupid. My last 2. Jon gets there, and he's greeted by the wildlings. Let's take a break and go back a couple episodes. The Battle of Winterfell was over. Red Hair says, hey, I'm going back up north. That's where I belong. Jon says, take my wolf with you. That's where he belongs. They say, okay. Now, let's add this time together. They take the army. They go to King's Landing. They have their fight. Okay. Jon kills Dany. Okay. Several weeks later, like Tyrion said, they decide this is what's going to punishment. Okay. Jon gets cleaned up, ready to go. Punishment gets on the boat. Now travels up to the wall. All this time elapsed. And you're telling me the wildlings just got there? Are you kidding me? Or did they get there and they were just chilling? They didn't want to go home. They were just like, hey, let's be there. And who let them in? Like, whose idea was that? If that was the case. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Why were they there? Now, let's fast forward with this scene because it's the end of the show. Okay. Jon, I'm assuming, this is what I've read, because it makes no sense otherwise. He was like, all right, you know what? Screw this. I'm out. I'm going to live with the wildlings. I'm not staying here. And as he's riding on his horse, he looks back at the door. The door closes. He looks forward and goes off with the wildlings. So now, again, 8 years of building this character to do everything that's right. Sacrifice everything to do what's right. Sacrifice his life. Literally, for the watch, stabbed, cracked. Okay. all of that. Now he gets sentenced by the king, who is his brother as he looks at it. Technically a cousin, but still. And now he's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm gonna go up north. I'm gonna do me. That is so stupid. And then that's the last scene. So stupid. It makes, I'm sorry, I'm getting frustrated. It makes no sense. None of it makes sense. And my last point, I'm glad, Arya gets to travel and be an adventurer. Sansa's the queen like she wanted. Bran, blah, blah, blah. Everyone got what they wanted. Great, cool, woo. Samwell, Lady Tar, whatever her name is. I'm so happy for all of them. But guess what? You sacrificed all these middle characters for your top characters that you spent years building up. And then all these questions, all this build up, the millions of people watching, and then you don't have a follow-up to the episode with the director, writer, whoever, producer explaining it. You did that for every episode this season. And it was great because I found stuff out that I missed. I found stuff out I didn't know. I confirmed some stuff I thought, and it was some nice little slide-ins. Now you can't defend your garbage you just put. You can't defend that with a follow-up. You can't explain what crap you were thinking. Was it that bad? You just didn't want to say anything on it. You just want to move on with the rest of your life. That is a joke. It's been a waste of time. Ever since they got off the books and they started writing on their own and doing their own thing, it's been awful. But I apologized for it because I loved it so much. I kept making excuses because I loved it so much. This season has been so bad. The last 3 or 4 episodes have been so bad. The last episode, I won't put it up there with Lost, but it's right under there. Dexter, it's right under there. You know, let Jon Snow pull a Dexter. Let him go off with some land or disappear and be a lumberjack or something. Like, why sentence him to life? Let him get decapitated. Let him die. How about that? Let him die. Let Dany stay alive. Why would you ruin his character? It makes no sense. You let the bastard of Robert, who made some weapons, become king and own his own land. But Jon gets nothing? He gets sentenced to life at a wall that doesn't mean nothing anymore? Listen, it makes no sense. It was awful. The more I think about it, the more I get upset. If you have questions, if you have comments, if I'm wrong, and you have information that makes me feel better about myself and calms me down, please leave the comments and questions below. I appreciate you letting me vent while I'm driving, sitting in traffic, furious. Have a good one. Like and subscribe. Hey!